This is Vampire Poetry, a short story that I've been working on for a while. It's about two vampires, Edward and Lewis, who have spent the night harvesting blood for the citizens of a steampunk London. With their mission completed, Lewis demands to make a personal stop. Edward agrees to wait for him on a rooftop. While he waits, Edward sees the Heavily Knights. So they're a group who hunts vampires because in this society it's werewolves who hunt vampires. And he sees these Heavily Knights approach the same house that Lewis just went into. Edward emerges from hiding and runs to warn his friend. Finding Lewis and his brother, he tells them about what he saw. Lewis's brother Harry downplays the concerns and goes to meet the soldiers. Lewis runs after his brother, as does a reluctant Edward. Harry lets the soldiers into the house along with their captain, the famous Roth. Roth is this big werewolf who's very famous, essentially. And then Roth interrogates Harry, but Lewis interferes. In anger, Roth kills Harry and fights with Lewis and Edward. Edward brings a chandelier down on Roth, making them believe that they have killed him, only for his fur-covered arm to emerge from the wreckage as Roth changes into a werewolf. Lewis and Edward run from the room and make for the backyard. Lewis believes that there's an exit there. Fully changed into a werewolf, Roth finds them and engages them in battle once more. And here's where we pick up. Roth's hammer putters and the drill stops completely. Worthless piece of junk. No matter. He tosses it aside and flashes his claws at us. These are all I need to rend your flesh. Roth duels with Lewis and I in the backyard. Using every ounce of our speed, we dodge around and slice his fur-covered flesh with our blades, which does little to slow the beast. As the fight goes on, Lewis moves slower and slower. His face has grown paler and more blood drips from the multiple wounds on his body. I know he can't keep up. We have to end this swiftly. Suddenly, Ross swings at Lewis, who dodges underneath his outstretched arm. Swiftly, Lewis runs his blade across Ross' abdomen, and the massive creature yells in pain. Fresh blood joins the multiple spots of scarlet liquid on the grass. Then Roth grabs Lewis and holds him in the air with his massive hand. Panic and rage rises in me, and I slash Roth's knees. Filthy vampires. Roth kicks me away and I hit the ground several feet away. Winded and bruised, I desperately try to find my breath as I put all my strength into getting up. Little vampire, straighten off from the ground. Prepare yourself to meet the devil, Roth says to me and then gazes over at Lewis. Whoever others shall meet him sooner. A low ticking noise can be heard. What is that noise? Edward looks around as I throw two knives into his head. They bury themselves deeply into his thick flesh. You bastard. Roth yells out and Lewis loosens his grip on Lewis. Lewis works his hands free and reveals a grenade with the pin pulled in his palm. I hope that you're ready to meet him as well. He smiles and coughs blood as the explosion goes off. I'm knocked to the ground again by the shockwave. My ears are ringing and my vision is blurry as I force myself to get back up. Stumble forward, willing myself to move for sheer determination and desperation. The explosion left a layer of smoke over the yard. As the stench of flesh and blood fills the air, screaming werewolves compete with the ringing in my ears. Barely able to stand, I hold my blade out as I look through the smoke for Lewis. I see a small body off to the side. I run to it and flip it over, revealing the battered and broken form of Lewis. His face is partially torn off, and multiple massive bloody wounds decorate his body. A shallow breath emits from his mouth. Lewis, I grab him. You fool. Don't call me fool now, Lewis retorts. I throw him on my back. I found the hatch. Let us make haste. I say as the fog lifts and I can see the massive form of Roth moving. Where are thou, treasonous vampires? Roth yells out. Stumble away quickly and find the rope in the low grass. With Lewis weighing me down, I pull the rope and the hatch door opens. Having no time to investigate, I jump down into the dark hole that the hatch reveals. As soon as I hit the hard ground, my knees almost buckle because of the weight of Lewis, yet I still stand. In my haste, I barely notice a long rope swinging in the near darkness. I grab it and shut the hatch. Darkness completely surrounds me as I run off down the tunnel. Edward, I do not believe that I will make it. Edward, Lewis spits blood onto my shoulder. Do not speak like that. Keep running, willing my feet to move faster. A sudden digging sound breaks out above us. Dirt falls from the ceiling and lands on my head. Panic coats my mind. I pull out one of my throwing knives. Tunnel's ceiling opens up, allowing a trace amount of moonlight to enter the gloom-filled surroundings. Roth's bloody and damaged face peers in the hole. One of his eyes hangs out of the socket, swinging back and forth as he moves. The rest of his face is bloody, part of his jaw is missing. Do you really believe that you could have killed me? Roth screams and uses his claws to clear the rest of the dirt away, allowing him to fall into the tunnel. More moonlight enters, and I can see the rest of his body is ferred as well as his face. Massive gory wounds crisscross his chest and legs. Blood drenches the surrounding ground. The first part of his intestine hangs out of his stomach. Edward, leave me. Let him have me, Lewis says. No, I reply as I carefully lower Lewis onto the ground. Roth breaks into charge towards us, and I throw knife after knife at him. Each one strikes him as badly injured vestige. However, none of them slows him down. I grab my blade and prepare for my death. Suddenly, a single spike emerges from the wall and runs through Roth's head just as he is mere inches from me. It exits the other side in a spray of blood, skull, and fur. Unsure where the spike came from, I run up to Roth and sink my blade into his thick neck. He only goes in a few feet. Using pure rage and adrenaline, I cut and cut, chopping more and more of the head off. As I do so, the face looks back at me with pure rage, adrenaline, and confusion. Finally, I slice through the rest of the neck and the body drops to the ground. The head stays up, stuck to the spike. The face still looks at me with that odd expression. Good work, Lewis offers from the ground. I really hear him as I look at the damaged and scarlet-covered blade in my hands. The steel is bent and cracks line the metal. I toss the weapon aside. Why did you cut the head off? He was already dead. A woman's voice says in the near darkness, and I turn to see a petite woman, her hand over a button in the wall. A rifle is slung over her back, and she holds a burning torch in her other hand. Two small children, a son and a daughter, behind her. This must be Harry's family. I had to make sure she was dead. I pick up Lewis and sling him over my back. Are you Harry's family? Yes. The woman pauses. Tell me, does my husband still draw breath in this world? I say, unsure of what to say. For God's sake, I demand that you speak the truth. The woman yells, her sudden rise in volume catches me off guard. He does not still live, I answer. However, he went out with courage, I add. You don't need to lie. There's never any courageous bone in that man's body. The woman wipes a tear from her eyes. The children hide themselves behind the woman as they softly sniffle. Catherine, I am sorry, Lewis offers as he can barely lift his head off my shoulder. Apology will do little to ease the pain of this night. Catherine grabs the unlit torch from the wall and lights it with her own. She hands a nearly lit torch to me, and with more illumination, I can see that we are at a crossroads. If you go left, you should be able to find your way out of the city. From there, I care little what you do. Catherine turns down the right tunnel. Wait, wouldn't it be safest to come with us? I ask as Catherine walks away. Safest? No, I don't believe that for a moment. Catherine's torch fades into the dark. Catherine, I call into the dark. Lewis taps my shoulder weakly. Let her go, Edward. She has children, I reply. Yes, but she's right. Lewis coughs out some blood. Besides, do we really have the time for this? No, we don't. Take off running down the other tunnel. Hopeful that Catherine will find her way to safety. Don't worry about her. Catherine has always been the brains of my brother's marriage. She'll have a plan of her own, Lewis says, as if sensing my thoughts. Together, I carry him over my shoulder and the torch in my free hand. Wounded and exhausted, I still run as fast as I can. I pray that I can make it to the coven in time, I tell myself.